Hello everybody and welcome to Fire Emblem Path of Radiance Footlock. Right, getting started. We have the prologue. I will be playing on difficult, and random is my preferred level up method. Fixed gets characters closer to their stat averages, but it's more entertaining to do random, and I plan on using the save file for a follow-up Radiant Dawn style of playthrough. For now, let's get started and I'll explain more after the opening cutscene.
Well, Ike, you had enough? Oh, missed.
Ike? Oh no!
Missed that song.
Ah, you're up. About time.
Not going to lie, I always find the cutscene a little cheesy but enjoyable. Anywho, we have the prologue, Mercenaries. I'll be blunt right now, I'm not reading out the text. I will try to go slow enough so that way everybody can read it, but I apologize if I go too fast. Basically what's happening here, as you can tell from the cutscene, Ike's training with his dad, Grail. Mist is Ike's younger sister, as you can tell by the text. Getting into the details of the playthrough, I'll have all of the rules in the description, so don't worry about that too much. But the important ones are no mounted units, which means nobody that can fly, and nobody on a horse specifically. I do want to use at least one Laguz unit, tiger or cat, because they tend to be underrated, and they can actually help you out quite a bit during the early parts, and not just for, say, Mordecai with smite utility. I'll get into that whenever we get to chapter 10, I believe, but I do plan on using at least one throughout the playthrough. Until chapter 8, I believe it is, as certain mounted units will be forced to be deployed. Also, hello, Boyd. Mounted units will be in the chapters, but I am basically going to be prohibited from using them in combat as much as possible, and definitely no rescue play with them. Meanwhile, Boyd, everybody hates Boyd, even though for this playthrough specifically, he's going to be the backup to Ike for quite a while into the playthrough. I forget, who's the first Mia, I think, is the first non-Boyd character who's also a frontline unit. So, Boyd, you have a lot of work to put in. You better be worth your salt as a mercenary. Also, Ike getting angry at Mist. Alrighty then, let's do some sparring. someone closer to his own skill. Ouch. No respect for Boyd at all. Dang. I always like the joke that Boyd is really bad at his job. Considering Ike's supposed to be a trainee and Boyd's not. But with that said, I like Ike. I think he grows well. Alrighty then. First off, animation's off. I prefer the game to go as fast as possible, and definitely max message speed. You don't need a grid. I hate the help windows and the guide windows, not gonna lie. I personally like my cursor to be where it is, where Ike ends. Or not on Ike whenever I start the turn. Turn off the message sounds, as that's a bit obnoxious, not gonna lie. No need for rumble, and I definitely want the bonus experience display on. As part of this is definitely going to be seeing how much bonus experience I lose. Just because I take so much time. Let's get started, indeed. I normally do this to trick Boyd's AI into attacking Ike on the first turn. I believe because this is difficult, no matter what, Boyd would attack anyways. But for lower difficulties, it's a good way to trick the AI into attacking Ike. Regardless, let's defeat Boyd, since that's a thing you can do. He's not dead, thankfully. Boyd, you're such a loser. Yep. Begin the first of many conversations where Boyd is going to be made fun of. Interestingly, I kinda hope that this game gets a remake at some point. But that's more so to help this game become cheaper, as this game is infamously expensive if you ever want to get a physical copy of it. I think it's 150, maybe even more USD at this point. But this game is so good in a lot of ways. It is literally the Fire Emblem I recommend for newcomers. There's just enough challenge that I don't think you'll get too terribly bored with it, but it's also easy enough that I think that anybody could enjoy it as well and get used to Fire Emblem. It lacks a couple of modern conveniences, but at the same time I think it doesn't need said conveniences all that much. By the way, my shoving technique that I did on Boyd earlier, that was to save a use of a vulnerary. Largely because I'm a bit stingy with my items. Not gonna lie. At least whenever it comes to healing items. It's not my preference, I usually prefer to use staff users. Anywho, level up! Let's see how good it is. Okay, it's reasonable, it's not great, it's not bad. And Ike, you were great. Thank you. Wasn't much of a challenge. And Earl was holding back, as it seems. Interesting. Really wasn't giving it my all either. And that's such a lie. Thank you, Miss, for chewing out Boyd, as always. I will admit that the story, while I do have some issues with it, I actually do enjoy it a lot. And Ike is finally ready to join the company. No longer a trainee and becoming a professional. Just as everybody thought he would, or at least Grail did. But if he thinks it's too much work, he's back to a trainee. So he's gotta work his arse off. Ike, you are destined for so much more. I hope you can live up to that. Thank you for watching, everybody. Please hit the like, comment, and subscribe buttons, as well as hit the notification bell to stay up to date. I'll see you in the next part.